This is Hainbach speaking for Sonicstate.
So, Hainbach, tell us what you have here with you today.
So I have with me everything, so I travel light basically, but also not so light because I brought a tape machine with me.
Wow.
Which is a Nagra IS. The smallest one that's really workable. They have smaller ones, but they're not quarter-inch tape, and I need quarter-inch tape. So I have this.
And do you bring fresh tape with that every single time, or are you using loops maybe that you've created from the previous show?
I've got loops here.
You've got loops.
So this is my show. They're all in here.
Fantastic.
Perfectly ordered. So I've got the song titles here. They're basically snippets of my music, of my albums. And I use these as a starting point for the show. This way I can play my songs, but I'm always playing them differently because I just have a part of them with me.
Okay, I was going to ask about this. Do you have an idea about how the set's going to start, what the middle looks like and what the end looks like, and then you feel your way through the shows?
I constantly change it depending on the venue. Right now we're in a church, and I noticed there's an organ.
Yes, I know.
So I hope I get permission to play with that organ too.
I'll just pan around just so everybody can see where we actually are today.
Yeah. Because I think that would be lovely to play the organ. I mean, I love doing experimental stuff on the organ. So that could be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. But the Nagra is basically this guides the performance because I can choose what I want to play with this and what I want to go from, and I never play all of these. So it's like a choose your own adventure book.
Okay.
For me. So I just pull one out, see what works with the vibe, because I would say 50% of the set is kind of like things that pieces that I play. 50% is improvised.
Okay.
And so I've got loop running here, and then sometimes I've got loops running on, but differently. I have them on the iPad.
Okay.
And on the iPad, I'm running beautiful, password.
Like that. So which apps are you using for this?
I'm using AUM. That's my main app.
Okay.
That's the mixing app. It's probably going to look very dirty. So, right, and then I'm using Fluss, which is a granular instrument I made with Bram Bros.
Yeah, this is fantastic. And obviously, this isn't synced to the tape machine, so these are kind of just
they're just
doing their own
running.
thing.
They're doing their own thing, and that's part of the charm for me.
Yes.
Because then I get to play along to that and discover new things.
Great. They're almost like your musicians, so you can play off them and play into what they're playing and discover. Yeah.
Exactly. I can guide them along. And so in this, I have my core instrument, which is one that I've been playing since, I would say, 8 years now?
I think so. I think when I played with you, actually, I think I remember you playing this at the time.
Yeah, that's the Seat Lombard Coco Quantus Mark II. And this is basically mixer, looper, workstation for abstract electronic music. Okay. I like to say it's the Cork Triton of experimental music.
Okay.
And you get it. Like sometimes I look in blank faces, but I think the audience on Sonicstate will appreciate this. This little joke.
Are you still discovering things about this?
Always.
Always, yeah.
Always. It's limitless. You can really learn this.
Yeah.
And then I'm playing this. Analog synthesizer, Z-Drux Organos, also Seat Lombard. Little contact mics under here, which you might be able to see. Probably angle is a bit difficult.
Kind of.
But yeah, you can play this by touch. You can hit it. You can blow on it. It's fantastic. And it sounds really lovely. It sounds really lovely. More tape loops for my alternate player because some of the tracks that I play are older. So they're like 10 years old maybe. So if I want to play them, I have this little player here too with some endless loops.
Fantastic.
So
what is it? What is this? Just for everyone at home, this is a modified kind of Walkman.
No, it's just a normal.
Just a
normal. It's just one of the best because it has like all the speeds. You can record onto it. Sounds really good. It's probably the last very good one that Sony made before the end of the dictaphone area. Cassette corder, they call it.
Right. And then with the tapes, obviously, you just make them endless by just allowing the spools to go around endlessly.
Yeah, I basically, these are professionally made endless tapes made for answering machines. So they sound pretty good, and they keep up after years. I mean, this tape here.
I mean, how long are some of the loops?
This one is like, I think it's like 20 seconds, this one.
Okay.
Or 40 seconds. And this one here, I have this This is the original loop from a piece I released in 2017, 2018 on Opal tapes. So this is the original loop, and it still holds up, but it's gotten very, very dirty. And that's something that also happens with all of these loops. Like, every time I play them, there's going to be a new scratch and a new pop and a new wrinkle that adds to the character of it. Because when I made these, some of these are like 2 years old now, 3 years, they were pristine, and it sounded like, oh, just press play on a digital thing. Then I've got my OP1.
The OP1, yes.
OP1 Field, upgraded to that at some point.
Any particular way that you're using the OP1?
I use it to play samples that I made for each of the songs. So I just play melodies to that. Okay. And sometimes it's sounds that I made that are, there's for example, a singer that I sent to the moon using a big radio telescope.
Okay. And
that is a sound that I wanted to have with me. So I recorded it in here. Wow, doesn't want to, that's new.
These things always happen when you're on camera, of course.
Yes,
something new
teenage
happens.
Engineering. So just trying it again. It all works.
There we
but
go.
Weird.
There we
so
go.
So like there's this, I think it was this. That's her. That's Johanna Vargas, soprano singer from Colombia. After being sent to the moon and coming back.
Beautiful, very ethereal and vibey. I mean, what I get from a lot of your shows and your music is this, you allow so much texturing from the instruments and from the accidents and from the tapes not being, 100% perfect, and it's all of
I
these...
enjoy that when an error happens, when a mistake happens, when something new on the loop appears, I tend to go for it, and I'm happy because, I play alone. And I used to play in bands. So my little orchestra here, when it does something on its own, I'm like, oh, thank you. I'm not alone anymore. So that's a lot of fun. And yeah, for everything like this, I've got the RME Babyface.
Oh, yeah.
This is class compliant, so I can just connect it to the iPad.
Nice.
It's lovely. And here's my box of cables, which is the unsexy part, but maybe not.
Now, I've got to ask you, is there a particular way you put these away, or is it like everyone else where it's just a nest?
No, look.
That's pretty good.
Pretty neat. I do it pretty neatly
well
because if I don't do it neatly with all of these things every time after a show, I'm going to suffer the next day. So.
Wise words. So that allows you to interface with the RME.
Exactly, and one thing I did, I used to order to have a mixer and stuff, but now I'm just running everything in here because I process everything through my own plugins. And when is this coming out?
Maybe soonish. Next few days.
In a few days?
Possibly.
Okay, then you can't.
We can't do this.
No,
okay.
Then I can. Because there's a new thing I'm working on with Bram Bros that I'm using.
Okay.
And which I made especially for my live shows.
Okay.
And so something new is gonna come with me and Bram Bros, with whom I made Fluss.
Fantastic.
So it's beautiful to have these things. So, but yeah, I'm using. Can't talk too much about it then.
Oh, okay.
I can show you off camera.
Unless you want to talk about it, when's it coming out? Maybe.
It's coming out first week of April.
Then we can wait till then if you want to include it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So this is basically.
Okay.
We
so this
created
is
for a live show I did with Ensemble Moderne.
Okay.
I wanted to have a filter bank. But I wanted to have a filter bank that acts in the same way as Fluss, where you have where your own movement can.
Oh.
Exactly.
Okay, so what's running through this? Just any audio you like?
The whole mix.
The whole mix?
Yeah, the whole mix is running through here, and I can filter it to where I want it. It has this idea of friction. So if you make it all slower, that's everything very slow. So then you have an elastic mode, which is where you can also just draw everything, or you can bounce it upwards and downwards. Then you've got the modulation mode. Go through the filter banks, go through the filters, each of the individual filters. But basically this is a fixed filter bank with 1, 2, 3, 4 different models. One is based on the EMS Rehberg, another one is based on the Res EQ, then we've got one that doesn't exist because it's based on the 1940s German bandpass filter, and one that's based on a vocoder. So all of these sound very different, and yeah, it's beautiful. Like, it's so much fun to have this. It's called Skulptur, Bram Bros and Hainbach, and comes out in, I think in 2 weeks.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
Great. Well, it's quite a comprehensive setup, and to me it feels very tactile. And despite using the iPad, there's not a laptop in sight really.
No.
And
yeah, everything, like that's the thing. I like to be in the moment when I play.
Yeah.
And especially with my own apps, I'm able to do exactly that and be exactly that in the moment with everything that I do. And the iPad is a perfect interface because, I also love to use Eventide effects, but they are on the iPad. I had a black hole pedal else, but it's here. I'm like, oh, I don't need the pedal. I can just have it here. And so these are also on here. So it's my Eventide, and I think there's a Fab filter also. Yeah, just doing some notching.
Okay. Yeah.
So, yeah, so that's really, really fun to have.
Fantastic. Great. Well, thank you so much. And it's a sold-out show tonight, so I'm really looking forward to the show.
Yeah.
And is this your last one in the string of dates? Are you going out
Yeah,
after
I'm going
this?
to Sam tomorrow, to Ramsgate, and we're just going to hang and make music. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Exactly.
Okay, say hi.
I will. I've got 2 more details. So if you want, because this is fun.
Yes, please.
So for running the tape loops, I've got this, which is a little tape loop guidance made here in the UK by WD-41.
Okay, I've heard of WD-40.
Yeah, WD-41, one step ahead.
Yeah.
So that's something where I run the tape loops around, so I can plonk this on any mic stand. And then this is new, and I'm just exploring. I got this like last week. This is the Magic Box. Dave Bellinger originally made this, and it's made by Ecolimba. A friend of mine, Darren Wiener, who apprenticed with Dave Bellinger, remade this beautiful little instrument.
It's lovely, very tacky.
Yeah, and you can play it in so many different styles. But I need to see how I can put it in the show because it's so new. And every time, you know how it is? When you have something that's new and you really want to play, and then you're like, how am I actually going to play it? Because you're so well versed with the other stuff, feels like a risk to play.
I have one question that I've seen you recently. Screwdriver.
Yes.
What is this I've been
Where's
seeing
my screwdriver,
recently?
actually? Yeah, because the problem is that this Nagra, the very speed, switching from the 2 different speeds, is this tiny screw.
So that's what I've seen you've been changing.
Yeah,
I'm
changing the speed on this, and I need a screwdriver. And the one thing is, I used to do it with the Swiss Army knife, as is par for course with the Swiss-made instrument like this. But since I'm flying a lot, the risk that gets taken is too high. So I just decided I bring a screwdriver.
Wow. Yes. Okay. Well, that explains that then. Well, have a great show. Thank you so much for this this tour of the rig. Do you think next time you go out, though, it's perhaps going to be different? Do you take a different approach every time you go out and do a new set of shows?
I'm working on a new setup, which is all based around my modular, which is 4 Collide 4 modules, which I made with your analog. And but that's something I'm working on, because I haven't written the music that I'm playing now with that, but I'm now writing music with that setup. So I'm going to take that out, and I think the first time I'll be playing it is on the 8th of May at Berghain. So there. Looking forward to perform with that.
Awesome. Yeah, look forward to that. Hainbach, thanks so much. Have a great show.
Coming.
Bye.
Good. Now get off of my stage.